You know, for Virgin Galactic, it's one of the most important things to scale, to build more spaceships, and that's why I'm super pumped to hear that the second spaceship is already ready before year ends. Very welcome here to Virgin Galactic Fridays, and this episode is very packed with fantastic topics that we will dive into. But first of all, make sure to smash that like button for this intro, for all the work and research that goes into each of this episode. The record is 800 likes that we want to break this Friday and start the weekend properly. Now we will talk about the space performance of the stock in the last couple of 7 days since the last Virgin Galactic episode. Then we will talk about the stock chart. We will, look technically what the stock is doing, in which channels it's trading, what we can expect, what the pressure or the rallies did to the stock. Then we will talk about the Jeffrey's analyst. He talked with Virgin Galactic people and, have some new information for us, which are very interesting. And then finally, we will talk about the new VG spec by Richard Branson. Very interesting topic. Should we dive in? I think yes. Before we diving into the space performance of the last couple of days, make sure to join the membership here on this channel where we talk more about stocks, and you have even the opportunity to have one-on-one with me over email or your favorite social media. So check it out in the description below or press just the join button. So if we are looking into the stock of Virgin Galactic, we actually see that it's not moving forward at this point. Okay, it's somewhere in the air. Do I go up? Do I go down? No, I rather stay here where we are, right? So as you can see, in the beginning of the week on the 11th of September, we started at around $17.32. Then we went down to about 16.48, 56, 56. Then we had quite a nice run of 10% until the 15th of September. Then towards the end of this week, we lost about again 6% out of it. So without big news, this stock will stagnate, and we will look into the chart in the next category if we see some channels that it's in. But before we doing this, I would really like to see where we are. So we are at $3.55 billion valuation, which I think is quite fair for what they have invested and what they have now in the making. Now, once we see for the development, I think that this can easily double from here, but also I think that, the PR and marketing part of the stock is, very much undervalued, okay? I think that we can go back to levels like we have seen in February when the stock was at $37 per share, right? So you can imagine that these people are still out there, right? They are still willing to pay this much for the stock, and I believe that this is kind of a nice yo-yo effect that, now we are down because of the overall market. It couldn't break out since a couple of weeks until, we have seen the new CEO, but then we went back to the prior levels because of the, schedule misunderstanding, and also the cabin reveal that was more of a design reveal, which was also claimed like that, but some people expected most of the people expected the real cabin reveal. So since then we are back where we were into the starting position, so we are ready to take off. I hope you too, and let's dive into the chart. Most important information about the stock on Yahoo Finance. You can see the market cap that we talked about. Then you see that the PE ratio and everything is not yet displayed because this company is not making any earnings. And the thing that here is interesting, that the 52-week range, you see that the stock, since the IPO is very, very volatile. I mean, I barely saw such a five-fold, from $7 to $42 is more than six-fold range that the company is trading in. Obviously, because it's a lot of speculation, it's a lot of, how the market is feeling and valuating stocks. And also it's important how the whole market is looking after growth stocks, because this is absolutely a growth stock that will, be a growth stock for the next couple of years. Now let's have a look into the chart, and as you can see, we set this almost perfectly last week that the stocks can go into a sideways position along this resistance line here at $17. Okay, $17 is quite strong, as you can see here from the last couple of months. Always it was bouncing off, and always around this, almost like a plant. This plant that is going around some pipes. This looks a little bit like this plant that is circling around this pipe here. So the $17 pipe is quite strong. If it's going down, then we shouldn't be too much concerned, because the next big support line, which I think is also one of the strongest here with 14. I was always thinking when it's going down here, I was starting to buy the stock, but I decided then to buy already at 15 or so. So as you can see, it's not always about finding the perfect time to buy, because this will be never the case, right? Today is better than yesterday, and maybe tomorrow will be better than today, but do you know? No, absolutely no. And you might lose this opportunity if you think you can time the market. This is important, guys. Even when we look every time into the technicals, I'm not such a technical trader nor investor. As you know, I'm not a trader per se. I'm not trading stocks. I'm long-term investing into innovations and into innovators of different industries, and looking who is really having this exponential growth, because this industry is exploding, because the revenue will explode, because people are loving the product, because people are loving the experience. And therefore, I'm investing in Virgin Galactic because of that, not because we are now bouncing off some resistance. So this is important to be clear on that, guys. But it's always important to also see, okay, what's going on with the chart. Definitely exited this very strong downturn, as you can see here, back in end of August. So we exited this very high, fast going down track, which is unfortunately pity for me, because I would love to pick up some stocks in this area. 12 will be fantastic for the stock, but unfortunately we are not that lucky that it's so dirt cheap. So we have to work with those prices here. I think that we, until the next months, which will be crucial to have those information, to have those videos, to have this feeling that something is going on. This will happen around end of October, which is somewhere here. Okay, so I think here in this area we might see an upper level. I don't know if we see the recent highs, but definitely if we see some positive news, then definitely we can go here and test the 20 levels. This I think is very, very likely. Other than that, it will be until the beginning of 2021 where the stock will definitely test those recent highs. Okay, so I expect the stock in the quarter of 2021 to test those highs and even go higher, because then Richard Branson will have this big marketing and PR gig with going into space with Virgin Galactic, the first billionaire customer really that will go up with Virgin Galactic. So the perfect person to really also demonstrate this, to market this, to really show us that this is the future. So next big bank is having their call with Virgin Galactic and released some new information. And Mr. Michael Sheets from CNBC, a specialist for the space industry, actually summarized it real quick on his Twitter account. And if you are looking into it, after a call with Virgin Galactic, ticker SPACE, executives, Jeff Race, this is the bank that the analysts are working for, says that the second Spaceship 2 spacecraft is on track to roll out by the end of 2020. And as you remember, when we covered the Q2 earnings, then we knew that the Spaceship 3 is already on the way. 75% of the parts already ordered, so it's just the assembling. And if it's so fast like this spaceship, then I think by Q2 latest, very latest, we should have 3 operational spaceships too. Wouldn't that be freaking amazing? I mean, this is exactly the scaling what we need to see at Virgin Galactic, okay? So this is the plus point. Then there is the new information that this producing of the spacecraft is about $30 to $35 million per vehicle. And then it says that each built to last 10 plus years and fly 50 flights per year. Now, we don't know if this is a mechanical or just a hardware limitation of 50 flights, but I think, with time, if this should be a mechanical and hardware limitation of this aircraft, then I think that they can really, improve over the next time to be more efficient. And this is, engineering knowledge that they will gain over the next couple of years to have the spacecrafts obviously lasting much longer, more flights, and so on and so forth. So further, he is saying actually then, Jeff Race also noted that the largest cost for each flight is the second generation rocket motor 2 engine, which cost between $250K to $275K to replace each flight. But Virgin Galactic expects that those costs to come down as the flight cadence increases. Now, this is the question, because when you imagined the last time when we talked about that, which parts are reusable and which not, we looked into the official description of Virgin Galactic, and there was clearly mentioned that the only not reusable items that have to be done are the fluid that need to be injected into the whole rocket engine. But with this information now, it seems like either maybe Jeff Race misunderstood it, or maybe there's really the big cost every flight. This is something that I need to find out, if Jeff Race misunderstood anything, or there was something in the business description that we overread. However, if this is the case, still, this is a 70% gross margin business. Okay, these are software margins. Okay, I have not seen a hardware company except Apple that's scratching maybe on this 60% profit margin on their products, this beautiful design. This is really outstanding if this will be the case. I'm really excited. I hope you too. And we will definitely be here on top of the game of all the Virgin Galactic news on this series. Virgin Galactic founder and one of the most famous entrepreneurs ever, Richard Branson, the big guy from UK that founded the most innovative companies in the UK, is actually having his own spec, his special acquisition company. All what we know so far is that it's called VG. So I don't know what is the connection between Virgin Galactic and this SPAC, because this is a totally separate entity. However, he wants to raise $400 million and then get a US company from the private market to the public market and make a big company out of it. He is looking for the customer orientated company and industry, because this is what he can and what is his specialty, right? I mean, if you want to travel very luxurious or having the Virgin experience, you can go on a cruise ship with Virgin Group, or you can go on a flight with Virgin Atlantic, which was one of the first companies that introduced some kind of very special business and first class offers. And then there's also Virgin Records, Virgin Cola, or whatever the consumer want branded by Virgin is available. So he's really specialized in this consumer orientated companies, and therefore this SPAC will be quite interesting because he will look for a company that makes some couple of check boxes in his own mind, obviously, and then looking for a big, gain into the value. And this is actually the beauty about SPACs, because people and billionaires having like a new trend of SPACs. And I said it in one of my live streams that I think that we need to just be careful that this don't become the new, .com bubble, right? The new SPAC. Which SPAC opens this week, and should we invest all our money and life savings into that? Should I sell my house with my wife in it and invest into this next SPAC? I don't know, but we need to be careful because this can be a new, very dangerous trend if this continues like that, okay? But however, I will watch this very, very closely, because this can be, especially with such a famous investor, a fantastic company to gain in the very beginning of the SPAC. And if he chooses a very interesting company, an innovator, a 10x opportunity, then we are here at Wolf of Dubai.